And welcome back to part 8, folks. If you're confused as to where we are, I just hopped down the ledge, where we ended up on at the end of the last episode. But now we're in the west corridor, and let's rescue these guards from this one sole armed henchman.
What's that collar do? Why is it making that noise?
It's the suicide collar, but it sounds weird.
Suicide collar?
Well, they've got some other name, but, well, we just use them to monitor patients' heartbeats. If it drops too low, the alarm goes off and a crash team rushes in.
And so does my crew if you trigger one. How do you like them apples, bats? Standing around in the... let's see... the West Wing. They'd be there now if they weren't busy knocking a little sense into cash. I'll tell you what, I won't spoil the surprise and let them know you're coming.
You know, putting huge metal collars on grown men, no matter how sadistic or just psychopathic they'd be, it's a little cruel. It's a little weird, right? I'm not alone on that. They couldn't have given them bracelets or whatever, you know, a ring that goes around their leg like they do in real life. But whatever, to each their own. So it looks like Aaron Cash has been separated from Dr. Young. As you remember, he was her escort to the Arkham Mansion, and it looks like he was also subdued by the henchmen of Joker. And with that little introduction to the scene, we have another Predator section. Now, what that little, I guess, cinematic demonstrated is the fact that every enemy you encounter from now on, especially in these Predator sections, will all be wearing the suicide collars, meaning that as soon as you take one of them out, silently or not, the rest of them will be, I guess, notified of that, you know? The collar will start ringing and everyone's attention will turn to the guard who got knocked out, or the henchman, but whatever. I cut out about 2 minutes of portion because as you progress through the game, these Predator sections will become more and more tedious. It'll take you more and more time to take out each henchman, and it's not necessarily difficult, but what you're doing is waiting, jumping from gargoyle to gargoyle, just buying time until all of them are positioned in a way that you don't get spotted, and that's why you saw that little cut there. But a really interesting, I guess, tool that I haven't shown off here yet is our Bat Claw. If you're actually daring enough to stand on one of these platforms where the enemies are, you can pull somebody off a ledge using the Bat Claw and knock them out immediately. We'll be back to a similar type section later on in the game, where that will actually be useful, but for now, since we have a regular Bat Claw, with, you know, without trying to spoil much future upgrades, it's not optimal. Right there, I show off that you can target multiple enemies now with your batarangs, if you've chosen to upgrade from a singular to double batarangs, and that's not a bad plan, but sadly there's one more enemy there, so even if we do knock out 2 of them, we still can't really go in for the kill unless we get a clear glide kick strike, and you know, those could be wonky mechanics sometimes. This is something that I haven't shown off before either. When an enemy is knocked out, especially if they're wearing the suicide collars, meaning that the others will notice him right away instead of Joker notifying them that somebody's been knocked out, you can immediately spray the explosive gel on the corpse of the henchman you just took out, and then using detective vision, even through walls obviously, you can remotely detonate it and knock out the guard or guards, because sometimes more of them come to check the body, and you can knock them out immediately, and then you just go for a ground takedown.
Are you blind? Look down on the ground!
And again, once there's just one left, you can do whatever you want. That was a very weird animation glitch, to say the least. Jeez. And that's that. Let's rescue Aaron Cash.
Thanks.
Where did Dr. Young go?
I told her to run. These guys came in looking for her. I told her to go to her office and hide.
Does she keep her records there?
I guess. She was pretty desperate to get in there. Her office is over there.
How long ago was this? I need to find her notes before Joker gets his hands on them.
20 minutes, maybe more. What's so important about the notes?
Joker wants them. That makes them important. Stay here. I'm going to find her.
Not a problem. I'll try the radio, see if anyone else is around.
Well, I guess thanks for trying to be useful, Aaron. Jesus Christ, you had one job. You had to escort a lady doctor to her office. How difficult could that have been? I mean, I get the fact that you have a hook instead of a hand, but whatever, man. Just Jesus Christ. Anyway, before we actually move forward to her office, we have a couple collectibles in this room. And seems like I'm stuttering a lot today, Jesus. They're both hidden in these locked cells. One of them is an interview tape, and the other is just a Riddler trophy. But I have to say, we're only on part 8, and by the end of this video, you know, without spoiling much, we'll be over at 100 collectibles already. And I think I have to pat myself on the back for the roadmap I've created for myself to get through almost half of the collectibles in the entire game by the time we just, you know, showed up in the Arkham Mansion for the first time. That's pretty crazy. I've never actually had a run that was as efficient as this one. So, yeah, I'm pretty chuffed about that, as the Brits would say. I know, like, anybody outside of the UK using British terms, it sounds terrible, I'm so sorry. Anyhow though, let's listen to this interview tape, and it might be someone we haven't heard from in a while.
Patient interview 6. Dr. Crane has been back in custody for 3 weeks. Regular sessions have been inconclusive. I am not sure he is actually insane.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you tonight?
I'm conducting the session, Jonathan.
Of course. If that helps you cope, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Let's talk about the events 3 weeks ago. What did you think you'd achieve? Dr. Murphy is still in therapy.
I wanted to understand him, his personal demons, his fears. It's all quite fascinating, really.
But you were a respected doctor. A brilliant mind. Now just another resident in Arkham.
Can I have a drink? A strong one? This kind of question bores me.
I'm afraid not.
Interesting choice of words, Doctor. Tell me, what are you afraid of?
So a pretty interesting dynamic when it comes to the interview sessions with Jonathan Crane, or the Scarecrow, is that as he, you know, progressively freaks out and puts more and more psychiatrists into therapy, all of those doctors are actually references by different people who have played the Scarecrow in different Batman media. And I think that's really cool, actually. And it's something that not a lot of people mention, to be fair, so I thought I'd bring it up. Alright, so now that we're in the corridor that connects two larger portions of the mansion, we can actually find a pretty cool secret. Along with some Joker teeth and the riddle, you know, that's just standard stuff. But this is actually the, I guess, cell, a hidden cell, where Amadeus Arkham was kept. You know, after a while, as maybe you could have told by now by listening to all the chronicles, his successor was, you know, seems to be also just as crazy. But Amadeus Arkham, the originator, you know, the original warden, of this place has also gone crazy after running it for quite a few years and ended up as a patient of the asylum himself. I'm sure that's actually something you can read up on within the game if you actually collect his bio through a different riddle. I believe it's the one we found in the graveyard, his gravesite. But don't quote me on that, okay? Anyhow though, we have another very small battle section with only 3 henchmen, where one of them is armed, so make sure to glide kick him. And when using combo batarangs, try to actually make them so they're actually within a combo and not so they stop your combo. But
thugs were trying to get into that office.
Whatever.
It looks like they couldn't get through the main door.
Always the underachiever I am. I actually wonder how much XP you could get if you've done really amazingly on all of your free flow combos from the start of the game. But this cool riddle unlocks the profile of Ra's al Ghul, one of Batman's oldest villains as well, all the way back from the 70s. And I think that's really cool. By the way, if you come back to this exact room after you've beaten the game, because this game is one of those where you can free roam the island once you've completed everything, including the main storyline. If you come back to this room, Dr. Young's office, I guess, that body in that locker will actually be gone, which is really cool. But not in this video, but possibly the next one, there's also a very cool Easter egg that many people don't know about. But let's save that for a little bit later.
Got to the safe. The only question now is, who opened it? No sign of forced entry. Whoever opened it knew the combination. Let's see. Good. Dr. Young got to her notes before Joker. She's taken them to hide somewhere. I need to follow her and find out where she put them.
If you're like me, and you actually like to pick up on all the little secrets around the room before you go for the main objective, it could be a little annoying, it could be a little tedious, because this game really does want you to use your detective mode flat out, as it were, as the main objectives come up, you know? This game though, it's not your friend when you have to scan something for the main storyline and you just want a quick scan something for a riddle. But that's neither here nor there. Dr. Young apparently got to her notes, and we can scan the safe for her, I guess, only recent fingerprints. And let's find her.
If I follow these, I will find her or the notes.
I hope it works. Just so you know, the GCPD found one of Joker's bombs downtown. It was full of marzipan and kittens.
As I thought. It's just a twisted diversion. The real action's on Arkham.
Alrighty. And now that we've done all that, we've also happened to level up. Now, I was really debating between another health upgrade, because we've only upgraded our armor once, or the triple batarang, because that is really useful. We've also unlocked the sonic batarang, which is a pretty cool ability, but I have that one in mind for, I guess, a little bit of a distant future in the game. The triple batarang is, however, gonna allow us to take down 3 opponents at once who are unsuspecting, and that's gonna be amazing. And also, when it comes to your combos, you'll be able to combo 3 different enemies when on a critical strike combo with your batarangs. Also, full disclosure, this is my worst fighting sequence in this Let's Play. I don't know why I did so poorly here, but look at this. This is embarrassing. I get hit just as I'm mashing the counter button. I'm embarrassed that this is how this fighting portion went. Jesus Christ. I ended like 4 different combos poorly because I tried to attack the knifed goon. It was just awful.
Crane continues to evade questions. I believe he is quite sane, just evil. He takes no interest in the people he has hurt. His research appears to be the only motivating factor in his life. What is it about fear that drives your obsession?
Fear drives everything, Stephen. Everything. Your life is governed by fear. Every decision you make is a product of that fear.
Don't be ridiculous.
You married your wife, Margaret, isn't it? Because you were scared of dying alone. You have children because you're scared of leaving nothing behind that really matters. You go to the doctors because you're scared of dying. Do I need to go on?
No. I think that will be all for today. Guards?
I mentioned this in part 2 or 3, but I really like how these DC villains are written. Every one of them has a gimmick and a personality around that gimmick, right? They use specific catchphrases. You know what I mean. They connect specific phrases that are commonly used along with their shtick. But what I really love the most is how they actually have philosophical background to not only their, I guess, superpower or their abilities, but also their lives. And it's really cool and scary at the same time because they make good points a lot of the time, both in the movies and, you know, with the games or the graphic novels. And I don't want to get started on that same tangent again, but when I say that, I mean the Dark Rises movies. I guess the Dark Knight movies, not the Dark Rises movies. Jesus Christ. I really can't talk these last few days. Just stumbling all over the place. Anyhow though, this section didn't really make sense. They only put 2 regular guards, casually commentating on the events of what's been going on recently in the mansion. But what we're supposed to do is just follow the trails, the recently made fingerprints. And again, I mean, it's just really convenient that Dr. Young was drunk or something. She's just touching all the walls as she's walking like an invalid or a just incredibly intoxicated person. But yeah, that riddle gives us the bio for the Penguin. But the Penguin is a character that is reoccurring in the series, so again, I'm not too keen on talking about the Penguin that much in this series, because I'm a very, I guess, pedantic and professional when it comes to storytelling. Anyhow though, the game's tutorials introduces us to corner covers after quite a while through the game, right? I showed it off midway through the series sometime, but the game only now said, hey, you can hide behind corners. Which, I mean, the point of that tutorial really is, you know, if I wanted to casually explain it, is, again, if the enemies can't see you and you hit them with a batarang, they'll just get knocked out, right? Doesn't make much sense. They'll probably just, you know, in reality, they'd probably just get impaled by the batarang and just start screaming, right? You just hit them in the face with a really sharp object and they just go, what the fuck? Right, that would probably happen. But these get knocked out. But without further ado, let's listen some more.
I took a walk around my island. I passed by the penitentiary and felt nauseous at the thought of the filth it contained. I looked out over the Gotham Bay, and in the distance I saw lights. No doubt boats bringing more filthy degenerates to my city. I swore again to protect her from this darkness.
You know what's funny? What I just realized listening to that tape again? This guy sounds like a political commentator right now living in the current day. And that's terrifying. Like the fact that we haven't heard filthy degenerates said on TV or in the recent times more often than from just this tape from a fictional man going insane is pretty scary to be in reality right now instead of Gotham City or something. Anyhow though, this is one of the coolest rooms, and probably actually the coolest room designed in the entire mansion. So we're in the library, and you can do one of two things. As you saw, there was quite a lot of henchmen. If fighting's your thing, you can just fight them all at the same time. They're not really incredibly, imposing. You'll win, spoiler alert. But we've had quite a few of fighting sections in a row these 2 episodes, so I wanted to show off something some people don't know about. If you grapple up immediately and climb all the way to the tallest, I guess, waypoint of this room, you can break that chandelier and immediately, I guess, kill every henchman in the room. I'd like to say knockout, like we were in a friendly PG-13 game, but let's be honest, they're not doing so well.
Thank you, Batman. Are they all gone?
Yes, you're safe. What happened?
It all happened so fast. Some patients broke in, began tearing up the place, like they were looking for something. Bill here fought back, but there were too many. They took Dr. Young. She rushed in here and they followed. I'm sorry. When I came to, we were all tied up. Doc Young was gone. I heard a voice on one of the radios. It sounded like they were being told to meet in the warden's office.
So, Dr. Young was trying to hide her
Alright,
research notes on the formula.
if you're playing along, or just wanting to catch up on all the secrets, if you can't find them, make sure to check the staircase. This is a set of stairwells that connects the floors when it comes to the library, and there's, a pair of Joker teeth on each walkway. A lot of people don't know that. Again, like I said before, the Arkham Mansion is really the only area of this entire game that has some kind of slightly hidden Joker teeth around. And because they do count towards your collectible count, most people will miss those. But I mean, we've pretty much covered all the difficult ones already. There's also one more section that I have in mind that we haven't gone through, but, we'll save that for next time. We've actually done quite a lot here. We actually know where Dr. Young is now. We can follow her trail, and next time, I promise we find her, dead or alive. See you guys then.
Oracle, I found Dr. Young's formula.
Great. So does that mean you've stopped Joker?
It's never this simple with him.
What's that you got there, Bats? No, not the formula. What am I going to do? Who can help me now? What's that? How about our old friend Zaz? I did bump into him on the way back from the gardens, when no doubt he was acting out some twisted fantasy. Maybe he could get her talking? I think he probably can. Great plan!